Alright guys, GF7 here, and today I will be doing the Championship Review Show. This will be where I analyse a selection of teams in the league and briefly then go through the matches to say my predictions and previews. Today is longer as there are more transfers to get through this episode. I'm going to analyse about, I think it's 6 teams in total. Of course Newcastle and Fulham are involved as they had their own preview show, as of course they are playing as I'm recording this, and let's get into it. To kick things off with Aston Villa, the team that got relegated and were the worst in the league by a very big margin last season in the Barclays Premier League. Di Matteo has stepped in. He is a man who has won the Champions League back in 2012 with Chelsea, even though he's dismissed, even though I thought he was a very good manager that time. Villa have brought in 6 players and released 10. The biggest is a signing which happened recently, and that is the Ross McCormack signing for £12 million. A big fee for his age, but will be worth it if he scores the goals that gets him promoted. They have released one of their top performers, Guy, to Everton, but it's understandable that he wanted to return to the Premier League. They have strangely sold Clark to Newcastle, which is strengthening Newcastle's side. I think they have what it takes to make the playoffs, so I will go for Villa to finish 6th in the Championship this time out. Next time, we have their rivals, Birmingham City. Aston Villa's rivals, we are looking at a classic fixture this season when these two go head to head. Birmingham are another team that went down a few years back and have struggled to get anywhere to put another good season back together. They have finished 10th last season and very secure and unsuccessful, but they will be looking to progress further, getting into the playoffs or maybe higher. They haven't spent any money, but with the likes of Vaughan coming in, you can expect goals as he is a proven goal scorer in these lower divisions. Lino Burke has been a proven goal scorer but has moved on to Chelm for a free transfer. They are a solid side, so I believe 10 places where they could open up again because they haven't improved enough for me to be able to put. And there are bigger clubs this year. Our third club is Blackburn, a big club in the past and is looking to keep on improving and could be improving to try and get top flight football once again. They have signed a Celtic legend Stokes and Danny Graham from Sunderland. They have, however, sold one of their best centre backs to Newcastle, leaving Newcastle to be stronger, and I really think Newcastle could pull away. They will be looking to build upon a 15th place, which is very dismal. I think they will finish mid-table this time out, probably around the 10th, 11th mark. Our fourth club is Brighton and Hove Albion, where PewDiePie is, of course. I'm not sure if he actually supports football, not a lot from my view. They are a team who missed out on promotion after finishing on the same points as second, but finishing third and losing in the playoffs, costing themselves the promotion. Chris Hughton, who was disappointed at Norwich, managed to have a successful season and will be looking for a repeat. They haven't, however, spent any money and have only brought in Steve Sidwell, a player who is developed in the Premier League but not quite Premier League talent. I hope he can perform in the Championship. They have released the likes of Zamora and Cross, so if the Championship goes well this season, they can push for a top 6 finish, and I think a solid 5th is what I would expect from them after finishing 3rd last time out. Our 5th club is Burton Albion. Just in the Championship after back-to-back promotions, a very good feat for them. Current manager is the man Nigel Clubs, who expect them to be doing well. They have brought in 3 midfielders and a defender. However, they haven't done too much, haven't spent too much, and I guess they're just a team who's going to be looking solid and hoping to do the best they can this season. Obviously, not a lot of expected of them. Our 6th club is Norwich City. Of course, I live in Norwich, and so maybe a bit biased towards them, but I support Arsenal, so I'll try not to be as biased as I possibly could. I say this every season with Norwich. They need to sign a striker and spend big money for positions. Norwich never seem to want to spend money, and it always comes to haunt them. The aging players like Houlihan need to be replaced, and after finishing poorly last season, they need to bounce back. The club has struck by Alex Neil, so you would expect them to see how well he can get back into the big time after getting him there last time. The midfielder Pritchard and attacker Kanyas are the 2 main players that are involved in the moves, coming to £10 million together and showing Norwich are improving in the spending market. They have also signed McGovern, who is exceptional at the Euros, and I would start him for Norwich, as Ruddy is definitely not appropriate for any league. They have of course offloaded Redmond, but the likes of Murphys and Kanyas should be able to replace them. Overall, I expect a good season for Norwich, so that they can get back to the Premier League, so I would predict them to finish 2nd this time out and achieve that automatic promotion spot. After the pre-season tour, now it is time for the matches. Usually I would compare stats and talk through, but I will simply tell the score and the players that should shine to me. First up, we have Birmingham vs Cardiff. Birmingham vs Cardiff is a hefty match because they're both sort of mid-table. You'd expect them to finish top half-ish, and I would expect the likes of Vaughan coming in, I think he can be a very good goal scorer. I would expect about a 2-1 finish to Birmingham, and Vaughan hopefully perform. Blackburn vs Norwich. Although you might think that I'd say that Norwich will win, I do believe Norwich will probably play well. I think they'll do well, but I think they could be frozen out at Blackburn, and I think it could become a 1-1 draw. Norwich just aren't very good at the first game of the season. They're not very good away either, and I think Houlihan will shine. I think he will shine. I hope that Pritchard does well. But yeah, I'm expecting a 1-1 draw on that one. Bristol City versus Wigan. For my knowledge, I can't remember if Bristol City were in the Championship last season. I believe they were. Wigan just came up. They won it. Will Grigg's on fire. And you'd expect them to do well this season. I mean, they went down and from the Premier League a few years back, and they went to League One, and now they came back up, and you expect them to do well. I'd expect a 2-1 finish to Wigan, and Will Grigg hopefully does well. Derby versus Brighton. Brighton, of course, hopefully aren't affected by last season's fate. But Chris Hughton, who done well last season with them against Chris Martin of Derby, I think Derby could come out with this. Maybe 3-1, maybe. I reckon Chris Martin could become a top player in this. Huddersfield versus Brentford. This is the lower league. Well, Brentford are a higher team. Brentford are a higher team. Huddersfield are a lower team. I don't know a lot about these two teams I've got through it. I know that Brentford are a better side. I would go for 2-0 Brentford in this one. Ipswich versus Barnsley. Barnsley are a lower club in the league. They seem to finish around the bottom. I'm not sure exactly how far they finished bottom. Ipswich are a team that seem to bottom. Ipswich just seem to never do enough. They always predicted to do a lot, but they just don't ever. I think it could be a 1-0 win for Barnsley. Next up, we have Nottingham Forest versus Burton Albion. Burton Albion are unexpected. I don't know what Burton Albion do. Nottingham Forest are there with Hassan Bolonga as it stands. If they keep Hassan Bolonga, I'm sure they'll have him tomorrow. But if they keep Hassan Bolonga, I think they can do well again. Fight for them top half positions. Burton Albion, I just don't know. I'm going to say 1-0 to Nottingham Forest because Nottingham Forest are a developed club in that league. Next up, we have Reading versus Preston. As far as I'm aware, Preston came up last season. As far as I'm aware, and Preston are a decent side. Reading are a decent side. I don't know a lot about the two clubs. I'll go for a 3-2 to Reading, just because I know Reading are a developed club in the league. Rotherham versus Wolves. I had a good joke with my friend about Rotherham because he once said that he played for Rotherham and he clearly didn't. And they're playing Wolves. Wolves are a team that also came up. They had established season last season, and I think I'd go for Wolves in this one, maybe 3-1. And there isn't also another 2 games as well. We've got QPR versus Leeds United. That's a hefty match. QPR versus Leeds United. QPR just haven't performed since they went down, and I expect them to do well this season. QPR, they've done a few signings. They've done a bit. I'd expect a 2-1 win to QPR today. Sheffield Wednesday versus Aston Villa. Of course, Aston Villa are performing. Sheffield Wednesday are a good team. Sheffield Wednesday are a very good team. I think I'd have to go for a 1-1 draw in that one. I don't think Aston Villa have got enough to beat Sheffield Wednesday away from home. Sheffield Wednesday are a solid side. They've done well last year. Anyway, guys, this has been GF7. If your team didn't get analysed, I tell you, most teams will get analysed weekly, and I will be doing more teams analysing in that time. But if you did enjoy, please leave a rating and subscribe. And I'll see you later. I've been GF7. Goodbye.